Hey everybody, I had a awesome garden so far this year, but a problem I've had, I'm just getting so much harvest, it's a little bit hard to pick everything and not have a central place to put it as I'm harvesting more and more crops. I had about 100 or more, I guess, peppers and tomatillos yesterday, big squash. So I need to do something about that. And I want to wash my veggies outside the house, and then I can wash them a second time inside the kitchen sink. So what I'm going to build is a veggie wash stand. This is perfect for anyone's garden. I'm also going to put some storage in it using some plastic buckets, which is affordable, easy. And for me, I don't have a garden shed, so I have all of my shovels and my hand trowels just kind of in a corner of the garden. But if they sit there long enough, they're going to rust. So I'm going to have a little bit of storage in my veggie wash stand, and I'm choosing the plastic buckets again because they're waterproof and they're cheap. And you can use this veggie wash stand as a potting table for the spring. There's a lot of different uses for it, and it's going to be affordable. So at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you how much I spent on this veggie wash stand. The first decision I made was a type of wood. I am not using 2x4s, I am using 2x3s. The reason why, they're cheaper, and it's not like I'm building a wall that needs to be supported or anything like that. So I'm using 2x3s instead of 2x4s. Just by doing that, I saved about $2 on every board that I chose. So that right off the bat is a great way to go. And if it's a 2x3, it's lighter, you can move it around, it's just more versatile. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make this affordable yet useful veggie wash stand. I will have a list of all of the materials you need for this project and a detailed list of instructions in the comments below, but I'm going to show you step by step exactly what you need to do in order to make this veggie wash stand. I decided to go with a length of about 4 feet by 2 feet 3 inches. The reason I'm going with 4 feet is that the top of the veggie stand is going to be, the top of it is going to be welded wire. I happen to have a roll of 48-inch welded wire, so that's why I chose the 4-foot length. If you wanted a larger table, you would first want to make sure that there is some welded wire that fits that length. But your first step here, you want to take 2 of your 2x3s and you want to cut them in half. So in the end, you will have 4 pieces, and each piece is going to be 4 feet long. I'm making 2 shelves for my veggie stand. So the first step again is take 2 2x3s and just cut them in half. Pretty easy. So next up, you want to take 2 more of your 2x3s, and on each board, you are going to cut 3 boards from each board. You will have 2 3-foot sections and 1 2-foot section. The 3-foot sections are going to be the legs for the table. 3 feet is about the height of most countertops, so that is a comfortable height for most people to work with. If you're really tall, you may want to make this a little bit taller, but I'm not that tall, so I'm okay with the 3-foot table. And if you have any kids, 3 feet is still a height that a lot of kids are able to help out with in the garden. So you want to do 2 3-foot pieces, and you'll just be left with 1 2-foot piece, which we will be using for another part of the table. So go for it. To make the sides of your veggie stand, you want to take 1 2x3 and you want to cut that into 4 pieces. Each piece is going to be 2 feet long. I went ahead and I was able to build the 2 shelf frames for the veggie wash stand. They are 4 feet long and about 2 feet 3 inches wide. My next step is to add the welded wire as the tabletop. I am going to use some fencing staples to secure these, and then we're gonna put this baby together. So I got my welded wire on the shelves. Now it's time to put this baby together. Let's do it. Well, here is the veggie stand behind me. You could end right now and be perfectly happy with this veggie stand. You could wash your vegetables, it would look nice in your garden. But this is ordinary. If you want to step it up, I'm going to show you how to make this veggie stand extraordinary. That's right. When your friends come over, they're not going to say, "Hey, I like your ordinary veggie wash stand." No, 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 no. They're gonna say, "Wow, that's an extraordinary veggie wash area you got there." And this is how we're gonna do it. We're going to add some extra storage with these buckets. So these buckets I bought brand new. They were $3 each with the lid. That is about 1/4 of the total cost for this veggie wash stand. You may have some of your own buckets at home. I am using mine for a bunch of other things, so I had to buy a few new ones, but you can always have more buckets on the homestead. So this is what you need to do. You need to use one more 2x3. You're going to cut it in half, and then you're going to trace the edge of this bucket on the front half of one of those 4-foot sections, and this is going to sit nicely in the front of your veggie stand, and then I'm going to use some twine to hold in the back. So let's go ahead and do that, and we will almost be done, and your veggie wash area will not be ordinary, it will be extraordinary. We are so close to being almost done here. So check out our veggie wash stand. Up top, we have our first shelf, and I actually have the welded wires on the bottom so that it kind of forms a little sink. So when I'm washing my veggies, I have an extra border to help my veggies not rolling off or anything like that. We don't want to lose any of our harvest. Then we have the second shelf. The third shelf, I have these 2 buckets. And again, the buckets cost me about $6. And this is going to be great storage for small tools like small trowels and shovels, extra seeds, things like that. The great thing too is these buckets, I can pop them off and I can use my tools in the garden, and then when I'm done, I just put the bucket right back on my shelf. So there's one more thing we need to do, and we need to stain our project. So let's go ahead and stain the project. It stained itself. That is amazing. We are basically done. I am going to put this in the garden. One more tip. I just have this old board that as soon as this dries, I'm going to place on top for a small counter for the times that I do need a stronger top than the welded wire. So this is mainly a veggie wash area, but this board is going to be helpful if you are potting plants or anything like that. So if you have an old board lying around, that is a great thing to add to your veggie wash stand. And again, I have a full description on how to build this. It only cost me $30, which is pretty awesome. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a comment if you decide to build this. If you have any ideas to improve this design, I would love to hear them. Please like, please comment, please subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the future.